Hey guys, my name is Sherwin and this is my good friend Oshan and you're watching Streets of Ceylon. Okay, so guys, what we have here for you guys on the channel is a very special car. It's also a very first exotic car on the channel, so we are extremely proud to present to you all this gorgeous 718 Cayman, the entry level 718 Cayman in this gorgeous chili red or Guards red color, you could say. We're not exactly sure the color, but besides that, it's not the most important thing. But all you guys should know is it's this vibrant red color that you cannot miss. So anyways, so as I said guys, this is the entry level 718 Cayman, and following the entry level Cayman, there are four other variants of this particular Cayman. It is the 718 Cayman T, the 718 Cayman S, the GTS, and the GT4. So those are the other four ways that you can get out of this beast of a car. And so now that's about the basic models that you can get from this car. So let's move on towards these very special lights. These are Porsche's very own PDLS lights, which stands for Porsche Dynamic Lighting System. Alright, so that's that, and it's said to be that when you turn your steering wheel, the lights also turn according to the direction of the steering wheel, which is pretty cool, pretty neat feature. And let's move on to the bottom of the car here. What we have are basically some vents, and the middle vents actually not functional. It's just for show, just to give a bit more aggressive look to the car. But the vents on the left and the right are actually quite functional, and they help with cooling and aerodynamics as well. So yeah, and with every Porsche, they're obviously all curvy, streamlined, and quite aerodynamic in my opinion. So that's about for the shape of the car. You have your basic windscreen, and then all necessities here. Okay, so guys, now let's talk about the wheels. So these are actually wheels from a 911, if I'm as per the owner mentioned, and they are 20-inch brushed metal wheels. Brushed metal wheels. And fun fact, guys, the 911 actually has a much larger brake, the front and rear brakes. So yeah. And also another cool fact which I forgot to mention in the front is that the 911 is actually much more longer and wider, about 200 millimeters longer than this car. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So it's quite a small and compact car, compared to other Porsches out there. So as I mentioned, these are brushed metal 20-inch wheels, and that's about it. Nothing too fancy about the calipers here. They're just all black. And that's about it. The emblem as usual, which is pretty cool, and the wheels are quite fitting for this car, which I really like. So now guys, now that the wheels are done, let's move on to the side of the car, shall we? Alright, so guys, now that we're done with the gorgeous wheels, let's move on to the side profile of this car. So as you guys can see, it's quite streamlined, quite curvy, as I mentioned before, as with every Porsche does. So that's about it. And the cool feature about these are these vents, which are actually quite which are actually usable, which are not like just for looks. They actually used for something, and they're actually for cooling, plus cooling the mid-engine about this car, which Oshan will tell you guys later on in the video. And they also help with aerodynamics which is pretty cool. And nothing too special about the car. It's quite low. The car is very low as per a normal car, when compared to a normal car, sorry. And it's a two-seater coupe, which we'll talk about later as well. And yeah, that's about it. So nothing too fancy about this car. It's just basically a sleek, very aggressive, very aggressive looking car. In a very subtle way, I assume. In a very subtle way. Yeah, pretty good. So and these side mirrors are like simple, nothing too fancy about this car. It's all made for purpose. So guys, now that side profile is done, let's take a look at the booty of the car. Okay, so guys, now that we're in the rear of the car, let's first talk about the so-called trunk. So guys, basically it's not a huge space for a trunk. I mean, what do you expect from a two-seater coupe? It's not that much. It's not that bad. So pretty good. So we have like a tiny clear an area over here to put your luggage and stuff, like a small luggage, and you have a small area right over here as well. Just to keep some kind of items as well. But if the items are heavy and if you slam on the brakes, then the items are going to go flying far. It might hit you in the head, which is not practical, and something Porsche have thought out better. That's about the trunk for now. Nothing too much to explain about. So yeah. And now let's talk about the bottom of the car. So you have the basic badging over here, Porsche, and no, this logo doesn't go down of any sort. It's stable there. It's just that the wing, that comes up. The Porsche logo doesn't go down. You have your very unique tail lights to a Porsche. Very sleek, aggressive, and quite nice actually. Basic sensors, and when you come all the way down over here, you have the exhaust. It's a dual exhaust system over here. Pretty cool, and it's not too bad, but not as loud as a flat 6, but pretty cool. So yeah, this is the rear of the car. Nothing too fancy. You have your basic diffuser, and as I said, the exhaust, and that's about it, guys. So now that the exterior is done on the car, let's move on to the interior, which Oshan will take you guys through it. All right.
So guys, here's a closer look of the key. It's actually shaped like a Panamera to me, even though this is a 718 Cayman. So it has unlock, lock, trunk options. That's about it. So we'll keep that aside. Now speaking about the steering wheel of the car, it is Alcantara, even though it's actually leather. This is a cover put by the owner himself, so it's actually aftermarket. The actual steering wheel, like I said, is leather. It's not Alcantara. So now the speedometers of the car, it is not digital, which I prefer. It's analog. It goes up to 280 kilometers per hour. It's really good, and revs up to 7,000 rpm. And there is another part where you can see digital stuff like maybe your speed, or maybe your sat nav, radio, blah blah blah, all that kind of good stuff here and there. So it also has cruise control, and driver side airbags, passenger side airbags, and those airbags in the doors, and also the airbags here behind the seats. Now speaking about the seat belt of the car, it's actually red, and it goes with the chili red or the guards red color of the car, which is really handy in my opinion. So the transmission of the car, it's actually a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, automatic. It also has Tiptronic. You can pedal shift obviously, and also you can use it manually like a manual car, just to feel the vibe of a manual car, or just get the feel of it. So there is another variant of the Porsche 718 Cayman which comes automatic, that is a 6-speed manual transmission. But again, I think in my opinion, automatic is way more better, and it does 0 to 60 much more, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour much more quicker than a manual. And also when you're driving day to day, or if you are using this car for a daily drive, the automatic transmission is really cool. The sound system of the car is obviously Bose, or you can get a Burmese sound system, but in this car it has a Bose system. It also have active air suspension or dampers, which is really cool. Traction control, the wing option here, it has a button, exhaust, and everything else. And also now it has cool heated and ventilated seats, both passenger and driver's side. It's obviously a two-seater car. It's not a 4-seater, by the way. So very now the storage of the car, it's actually very not really reliable. Yes, not much you can put into. Door bins are quite okay, and these are all soft touch leather or some sort of leather. Everything here is soft touch except for the here area is actually like plastic, but it's okay. We have an analog clock here, which I think is really cool instead of the digitals. We have obviously the infotainment screen and everything else. We have sat nav, phone, Apple CarPlay. It doesn't have Android Auto, so keep that in mind. Only Apple CarPlay, no Android Auto. Sorry, Android lovers. The headroom is actually not bad. I'm not that tall, but it's actually not bad. My feet are touching the end of the front, but it's okay. Yeah, that's about it. There's nothing here. Obviously your hazard lights, yeah, and now the seats are obviously Alcantara or suede, whatever you want to call it. Plus the sides of the seat are leather. Also it has grey stitching all around. It doesn't quite stand out as a red stitching as we did in the Mazda RX-8, but this is cool, not bad. It obviously has these lights and stuff. The rear view visibility is very good actually. It doesn't bother anything. It's really good. Yeah, other than that, that's it to say. The key, again, moving on to the key, we don't use this to start the car. It has another like a small gadget or a key thing which you turn around and it starts the car. So this is actually useless, pretty useless if you don't to start the car. It's useless basically. I mean, it has a sensor, obviously, without it you can't start, but yeah, unlike other cars which do use this key in particular to start the car, the Porsche doesn't. Yeah, so that's that. Yeah. So guys, now I'm here to talk about the engine of the car. So this particular 718 Cayman, the entry level 718 Cayman, is powered by a 2-liter flat 4 engine producing around 300 horsepower roughly. Comparing this to a 718 GTS 4.0, it has a 4-liter flat 6 engine, so 2 more cylinders and 2000 cc more than this, and it produces around 400 horsepower, 395 to be precise. So the engine bay, this is actually a mid-engine car, not a rear engine. You might get confused. It's a mid-engine car, rear-wheel drive. So you can do slides. So yeah, that's good. You cannot see the engine, by the way. That's why everything is closed. There's no point of showing the engine and everything because there's nothing to show. And the cons are about the engine. It doesn't sound as good as a flat 6 engine, but it does sound good though. It's actually a flat 4, so that's all good. So yeah, that's about it when you're talking about the engine of the car.
Okay, so guys, now let's talk about the front. Basically, the trunk in the front. So front, voila. So once you pop it open with the latch over here, you have quite a decent space actually to fit around 2 suitcases, 2 hand luggage suitcases. All right, so yeah, and nothing too fancy over here, just a basic, just very basic boot space, and it's like slightly bigger and more usable, more practical than the trunk. So yeah, pretty cool. Nothing too fancy. You just have your logo, and you cannot see the engine that's in the mid, in the rear, obviously. So yeah, you have your basic, and you have your basic space over here, and some lights on the side, just to help you see the night. That's about it. And it's all the glossy red over here, as I mentioned before. So yeah, guys, that's about it for the front. Okay, so guys, now that we're done with the car, we would like to give a huge shout out to the owner of the car, the owner's son actually, Mr. Sahal Pereira. His link is in the description below, so if you want, you guys can go check him out and show him some love for his dad's awesome car here. So yeah, huge thanks to the owner for being on the car, so that we can review it, and we're super proud, just to present our first ever exotic car on the channel, first ever exotic German car on the channel. So over to you, Oshan.
So yeah, if you guys didn't check out the review of the Mazda RX-8, 2 RX-8s to be precise, go check that out. It was a really good video. So also don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share this review with other car enthusiasts. So yeah, we will be bringing out more German exotic cars for you in the future. This being our first.
So also guys, our official Instagram page is Streets of Ceylon. So you guys can check it out in the description down below, and follow us.
Also, you guys can follow our personal channels as well, accounts.
Yeah, so as I was saying, so you can follow us for more behind the scenes content, so which is really cool. And you guys can see more behind the scenes content of this particular car. So yeah, that's about it guys. And a huge thank you to the owner once again. And this is Streets of Ceylon signing out.
Peace.